Imagine unraveling ancient secrets so powerful that they could alter the way you perceive the world today. We delve into the depths of Egyptian tombs, where pharaohs rest in their eternal slumber, surrounded by mysteries and curses that have haunted those bold enough to disturb them. But what truly happens when the curses of the mummies are unleashed? And more importantly, are these stories real or merely elaborate myths crafted over the centuries? Now, think about how many times you've encountered the unknown and felt that shiver down your spine, a mix of fear and fascination. This video is for you, the seeker of answers, unafraid to explore the unfamiliar. By watching, you'll not only enrich your knowledge but also broaden your perspective on life, death, and what potentially awaits us beyond. Are you ready to open this door to the past and face the curses of the mummies head-on? Let's begin. Since the dawn of time, the fascination with mummies and the supposed curses surrounding them has been an endless source of mystery and allure. Tales of ancient tombs and the ominous warnings inscribed at their entrances have fueled popular imagination, weaving a tapestry of mystery that transcends cultures and eras. This interest not only survives but thrives in modernity, fueled by spectacular archaeological discoveries and the influence of pop culture, which perpetuates the intriguing connection between ancient mummification practices and the curses that supposedly accompany those who disturb the eternal rest of the dead. Let's delve into the depths of this timeless fascination, exploring the historical origins, myths, and scientific truths behind these captivating narratives. From the elaborate mummification rituals of ancient Egypt to contemporary discoveries shedding light on ancient civilizations, our journey will strike a balance between science and the supernatural. We'll examine how mummification was practiced in different cultures around the world, each with its own techniques, rituals, and spiritual beliefs, as well as the stories of the most famous curses that allegedly plagued those who dared to violate sacred tombs. Furthermore, the video will unravel the mysteries behind the most infamous curses, such as that of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, and investigate the extent to which science can explain the misfortunes attributed to these ancient warnings. Through interviews with archaeologists, historians, and scientists, we will separate fact from fiction, offering a balanced perspective that respects both ancient traditions and modern research methods. By exploring the intersection of history, mythology, and science, the video will also address how modern representations of mummies and curses both reflect and distort ancient beliefs and practices. We will examine the cultural impact of these representations and how they influence our perception of mummies and the curses associated with them. In confronting the fear and fascination that these stories evoke, the video will not only shed light on the dark corners of human history but also reflect on what these timeless narratives say about ourselves and our relentless quest to understand the unknown. The practice of mummification, with its origins spanning across various ancient cultures, represents one of humanity's most fascinating techniques developed to preserve the dead, particularly notable in ancient Egypt. Motivated by the belief in an afterlife, this process involved complex methods to dehydrate the body and protect it from decomposition, symbolizing the desired eternity for the spirit. In addition to the Egyptians, other cultures such as the Chinchorros of South America practiced mummification millennia earlier, employing different methods to achieve the same goal, the preservation of the physical body. While in Egypt the technique involved the removal of internal organs and the use of chemical substances, other cultures leveraged specific environmental conditions to keep bodies intact. These practices reveal a common concern among distant and disconnected civilizations: the veneration of the dead and the hope for some form of continuity beyond earthly life. The Egyptian technique of mummification, refined over millennia, was an elaborate process aimed at preserving the body for eternity, reflecting the profound belief of the Egyptians in the afterlife. It began with the careful removal of internal organs, except the heart, seen as the center of intelligence and emotion, which was to remain in the body for the journey to the beyond. The brain was removed through the nostrils, and the organs, stored in canopic jars, were placed beside the body. Dehydration followed, using natron, a natural salt, to dry the body for a period of 40 days. After this phase, the body was washed, anointed with oils and resins to maintain elastic skin, and wrapped in hundreds of meters of linen, among which amulets were placed for protection. Finally, the mummified body was placed in a sarcophagus, often within a series of coffins, and buried in a tomb, accompanied by treasures and items for use in the afterlife, a testament to the sophisticated Egyptian understanding of the divine and the eternal. In ancient Egypt, the deceased were buried with a variety of objects believed to be necessary for their journey and life beyond. This practice, deeply rooted in religious beliefs and the Egyptian worldview, reflected the conviction that existence after death would be a continuation of earthly life. Therefore, personal items, jewelry, protective amulets, and statues of deities were placed alongside the bodies to ensure safety, comfort, and spiritual guidance. Additionally, miniature models of boats, servants, and food were often included to serve the deceased in the afterlife. These goods not only provided the spirit of the deceased with the means to sustain itself and navigate the challenges of the underworld, but also served as a demonstration of status and wealth, reflecting the individual's social position in society. Such practices illustrate the complexity of Egyptian beliefs about death and the afterlife, revealing a world where the material and the spiritual were intricately intertwined. Although ancient Egypt is most well known for the practice of mummification, various other cultures around the world developed unique methods to preserve their dead, reflecting a universal fascination with death and immortality. In South America, the Chinchorros, one of the oldest cultures to practice mummification, began preserving their dead around 7,000 years ago, long before the Egyptians, using techniques that involved skin and organ removal, replacing them with natural materials, and covering the bodies with an ash paste. In Europe, bog mummies, naturally preserved bodies in anaerobic conditions of bogs, date back up to 10,000 years, offering a rare glimpse into prehistoric life. In the Arctic, the Inuits used extreme cold to mummify their dead, while in the Philippines, ancient Kabayan tribes embalmed their nobles in caves. These varied mummification practices, adapted to the environmental conditions and spiritual beliefs of each culture, underscore the diversity of human approaches to the treatment of the dead, each with its techniques, rituals, and meanings, but all sharing the desire to honor and remember the departed. The mystique of curses associated with mummies and their tombs transcends centuries, deeply rooted in the popular imagination as ominous warnings against the desecration of the dead. Originating in antiquity, these curses were inscribed at the entrances of tombs or recited in rituals, intended to protect the eternal rest of the buried from thieves and intruders. The most famous of these, the curse of Pharaoh Tutankhamun, gained notoriety after the opening of his tomb in 1922, when a series of premature deaths and misfortunes befell those involved in the discovery. Although many of these stories are apocryphal or exaggerated, they fuel fascination and fear surrounding ancient funerary practices. Modern scientists and archaeologists suggest rational explanations for the incidents, such as ancient diseases preserved in sealed chambers. However, the idea of curses continues to capture the imagination, a testament to human respect for the dead and fear of the unknown. The discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922 by the British archaeologist Howard Carter marked one of the most significant moments in the history of Egyptology. After years of meticulous searching in the Valley of the Kings, Carter and his team, sponsored by Lord Carnarvon, found the nearly intact entrance to the pharaoh's tomb, a rare feat that immediately captured the world's imagination. Upon opening the tomb, Carter was met with priceless treasures that no human eye had beheld for over 3,000 years. The antechamber, filled with artifacts intended to serve the pharaoh in the afterlife, and the burial chamber, with the golden sarcophagus containing the mummy of the young king, revealed the opulence and sophistication of Egyptian funerary rituals. This discovery not only provided an unprecedented window into the religious practices and lifestyle of ancient Egypt, but also reignited worldwide fascination with mummies and the rich traditions of ancient Egypt, inspiring new generations of scholars and enthusiasts to explore the mysteries of this ancient civilization. The legend of the curse of Tutankhamun arose shortly after the opening of his tomb in 1922, when a series of unexplained deaths and misfortunes began to befall those involved in the discovery. The expedition's financier, Lord Carnarvon, died under mysterious circumstances just a few months after the tomb's opening, an event that the media quickly associated with the pharaoh's curse. In addition to him, other team members suffered accidents or died in equally mysterious circumstances, fueling speculation and stories about the wrath of the outraged pharaoh. These narratives captured the public imagination, creating a lasting myth that remains one of the most cited examples of supposed mummy curses. Experts in Egyptian culture and archaeology, however, often point out that many of these curses can be better attributed to human fascination with the mystical rather than any supernatural reality. The idea of curses may have been encouraged by the ancient Egyptians themselves, who firmly believed in the power of curses as protection against tomb robbers. However, most of these so-called curses are nothing more than modern myths, with no basis in ancient Egyptian practices or beliefs. Another notorious case is that of the mummy of Amenhotep, which was brought to London in the late 19th century. Reports claim that everyone involved with the mummy experienced serious misfortunes, including deaths and illnesses. The mummy was even blamed for the sinking of the Titanic, as it was alleged to have been transported on the ship, a story that proved to be entirely unfounded. However, rational and scientific analyses offer less supernatural explanations for these events. Researchers suggest that the deaths could be attributed to diseases carried by fungi or bacteria preserved in the sealed tomb, which may have infected archaeologists and visitors. Despite the lack of concrete evidence of a curse inscribed in Tutankhamun's tomb, the legend persists, highlighting human fascination with mystery and the supernatural. The myth of the curse has significantly contributed to the allure and mystery surrounding ancient Egypt, influencing popular culture and public perception of archaeology and ancient funerary rituals. The scientific perspective on curses associated with mummies and ancient tombs tends to be skeptical, seeking rational explanations for events often attributed to the supernatural. In the case of the deaths and misfortunes linked to the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb, scientists proposed that microbes or fungi, preserved for millennia in sealed environments, could be responsible for causing diseases in individuals who came into contact with these pathogens. Additionally, studies conducted on Egyptian tombs and artifacts have revealed the presence of toxic substances, such as arsenic, naturally occurring in embalming materials or mural paintings, which could have contributed to health problems or death. This scientific approach demystifies the idea of curses as direct causes of misfortunes, suggesting instead that the negative consequences may be the result of exposure to hazardous environments unknown to the archaeologists and explorers of the time. Although fascination with the mystical and the unexplained continues to fuel stories of curses, science provides a reminder of the inherent risks involved in the exploration of ancient sites, reinforcing the need for caution and respect for the remains and historical locations. The legacy of mummies and the curses associated with them transcends the realm of archaeology, deeply rooted in popular culture and the collective imagination. Stories of ancient curses, revived by discoveries such as that of Tutankhamun's tomb, illustrate humanity's enduring fascination with the mysterious and the supernatural. However, more than mere tales to fuel movies and literature, the study of mummies and ancient funerary practices offers a unique window into understanding the beliefs, cultures, and technologies of past civilizations. Science has played a crucial role in unraveling the mysteries behind mummification techniques and supposed curses, demonstrating that often the explanations for these phenomena lie in the natural world rather than the supernatural. While interest in curses may never completely disappear, the true legacy of mummies lies in their ability to connect the present with the past, offering valuable lessons about life, death, and the perpetuity of human curiosity. The fascination with ancient Egyptian civilization, with its mummies, pyramids, and treasures, has been a constant source of inspiration for popular culture throughout the centuries. Movies, books, and television programs often explore the theme of mummy curses, portraying these ancient beings as supernatural guardians of their tombs, ready to unleash unspeakable horrors upon those who dare disturb their eternal rest. This portrayal, while dramatic and engaging, significantly distorts the historical and cultural reality behind the mummification and burial practices of ancient Egypt, turning a religious and cultural rite into a source of suspense and terror. Since the early 20th century, the film industry has played a crucial role in shaping the image of mummy curses in the collective imagination. Classic horror films from the 1930s Universal Studios, such as The Mummy, starring Boris Karloff, to more recent Hollywood adaptations like the Mummy film series in the 2000s, have popularized the idea of deadly curses associated with mummies. These works, by emphasizing mystery and danger, have contributed to a public understanding of mummies and ancient Egypt that is more mythological than factual. In literature, the theme of mummy curses has also found fertile ground. Novels like Anne Rice's The Mummy, Ramses the Damned, and various adventure and mystery works incorporate the idea of ancient curses, often using it as a narrative device to explore themes of life, death, and immortality. These stories, though fictional, help perpetuate the notion that Egyptian mummies carry supernatural powers and terrible curses. Television programs and documentaries are also active in exploring this fascination with mummy curses. Educational and entertainment programs often address the theme, sometimes with an attempt to demystify it, but often reinforcing existing stereotypes and myths. This constant exposure to the topic through different media solidifies the association between mummies, curses, and the supernatural in the public's mind, often at the expense of a more accurate and respectful understanding of the cultural practices of ancient Egypt. The impact of this portrayal on the public perception of mummies and ancient cultures is complex. On one hand, these stories spark interest and fascination in antiquities, encouraging the study and exploration of history. On the other hand, they can obscure the true cultural and spiritual significance of mummification and funeral rituals in ancient Egypt, reducing centuries of tradition and belief to mere horror tropes. It is crucial, therefore, when consuming and creating works that explore these themes, to seek a balance between entertainment and respect for the history and culture being portrayed. Stories of curses associated with archaeological discoveries, particularly those involving mummies and ancient tombs, have always captured the public's imagination. A recent narrative that reignited this fascination was the discovery of the Black Coffin in Alexandria, Egypt, in 2018. Rumors quickly spread that opening the sarcophagus could unleash a curse. Despite speculation and public fear, the opening of the coffin revealed only the skeletal remains of 3 individuals from the Ptolemaic era and sewage liquid, rather than any supernatural force. The media's reaction was mixed, oscillating between skepticism and a mild indulgence in curse theories, demonstrating how such stories still generate broad interest. This interaction between archaeological discovery and the public and media reaction highlights an interesting phenomenon. Despite the advancement of scientific knowledge, the idea of curses continues to fascinate. Media coverage tends to explore both perspectives, often allowing room for speculation about curses while also highlighting scientific explanations. This balance reflects an appetite for mystery and the exploration of the unknown, even in an era dominated by reason and science. However, modern technology has played a crucial role in debunking many of the legends surrounding mummies and their alleged curses. For instance, DNA analysis has become a valuable tool in understanding diseases, familial relationships, and even causes of death of ancient mummies. These pieces of information provide valuable insights into the lives of those buried and, by extension, the societies surrounding them, shifting the focus from curses to scientific understanding. Additionally, new scanning techniques such as computed tomography, CT, and X-ray microtomography allow scientists to virtually unwrap mummies, exploring their secrets without disturbing the remains. These techniques have revealed intimate details, from dental health to hidden tattoos, contributing to a deeper understanding of cultural and spiritual practices. Interestingly, these scientific discoveries often increase public fascination rather than dissipating notions of mystery and curse. Finally, as science continues to unravel the secrets of mummies and debunk many of the curse stories, the public still delights in mystery and the unknown. The intersection between modern science and ancient beliefs in curses creates a captivating narrative that continues to fascinate. This fascination reflects not only an interest in death and the afterlife but also an appreciation for the history and culture of ancient civilizations, demonstrating how, even in an era of great scientific advancement, curse stories still find a place in the popular imagination. The fascination with mummies and their curses spans centuries, deeply rooted in the collective imagination of humanity. This attraction is not merely a matter of morbid curiosity or a desire to explore the macabre. It reflects a complex web of interests that encompass history, culture, spirituality, and even our relationship with death and the unknown. The stories of curses associated with mummies, especially those from ancient Egypt, serve as a bridge between the past and the present, offering a glimpse into the beliefs, values, and practices of ancient civilizations. They fascinate us because they touch on fundamental questions about life, death, and what may exist beyond. Behind the legendary curses lies a profound respect for the dead in these cultures, evidenced by the intricate methods of mummification and burial rituals aimed at ensuring a safe passage to the afterlife. However, this fascination also raises important ethical questions about how we interact with these cultural remains. Tomb looting and the display of human remains in museums without proper respect for the cultures of origin are practices that have increasingly come under scrutiny. Curse stories often arise or are amplified by these controversial interactions, serving as dark reminders of the consequences of disrespecting the dead and their cultures. In reflecting on the enduring fascination with mummies and their curses, we are invited to think critically about the value we attribute to cultural heritage and the importance of approaching it with respect and understanding. These stories offer us an opportunity to learn not only about ancient civilizations but also about ourselves, our values, and how we choose to relate to the past. Encouraging the public to think critically about curse stories is also a way to promote greater appreciation and respect for ancient cultures. It is crucial to recognize that, in exploring these stories, we are interacting with the heritage and traditions of real peoples, whose burial practices and spiritual beliefs deserve to be treated with dignity. Thus, while delighting in the mystery and allure of mummies and their curses, it is important to remember to approach these themes with curiosity, respect, and a genuine desire to understand the cultures from which these stories emanate. This is a path not only to cultural enrichment but also to empathy and mutual respect between distinct cultures and times.